The unexpected arrival. The galaxy had known peace for centuries. At least, that's what everyone thought. The great alien empire, known for its strength and advanced technology, had ruled over countless worlds. Their fleets were unstoppable, and no one had dared to challenge their authority. The few who had tried were wiped out in seconds, their planets reduced to nothing but dust. The aliens were sure that their reign would last forever, and they felt no need to prepare for any new threats. But something was wrong. It all began on a quiet day when the alien empire's command center received an unusual message from one of its deepest space probes. It wasn't an attack or a distress call. It was something they had never seen before. The probe had detected a massive, unknown object approaching their borders. At first, the scientists dismissed it as an error, but when the signal grew stronger, they couldn't ignore it. Something was out there. The message was clear, though baffling. Humanity. No one had ever heard of such a thing. The humans were just a young species, primitive and insignificant in the eyes of the alien empire. The aliens had thought they were no threat to anyone. Their technology was far behind. They lived on a small, insignificant planet in the farthest corner of the galaxy, barely able to explore their own system, let alone travel to the stars. Yet here it was, an object coming straight for them, with a signal too powerful to be ignored. The command center buzzed with confusion. Scientists and military leaders scrambled to understand what was happening. "Impossible," shouted one officer, staring at the blinking readouts on his screen. "This can't be right. Humanity has no ships that could make it this far." But the evidence was undeniable. The strange object was getting closer. Every second, it grew bigger on their radar. And it wasn't just one small ship, it was a fleet. The alien leaders had seen many ships in their time, from their own fleet to ships of the countless species they had conquered. But this was different. The signals they were receiving didn't match anything in their database. The object wasn't just a ship, it was something far larger, more powerful, and more dangerous than anything they had ever encountered. As the fleet of ships neared, it became clear that the humans were coming for something more than just a peaceful visit. The aliens were no longer sure if they were seeing a fleet, or if they were witnessing the arrival of something far more terrifying. Panic spread through the command center. The alien empire had always relied on its technology, its massive ships, and its endless armies to maintain control. But now, for the first time in centuries, they felt the grip of fear. Fear of the unknown. Commander Zalen, one of the highest-ranking leaders in the alien empire, stood in front of a large viewing window, watching the approaching ships on the outside screen. His sharp eyes narrowed. "What are they?" he asked quietly, though no one in the room could provide an answer. He turned to his advisors. "Prepare the fleet for battle. We cannot allow these humans to enter our space without a fight." But even as he gave the order, a growing sense of doubt gnawed at him. The humans had never been a concern, so why were they now? Zalen had studied every known race in the galaxy. He knew how to deal with threats. But this was something new. He wasn't sure they could fight back. Hours passed, but the strange ships continued their approach, moving faster now, pushing through the void of space with impossible speed. The aliens who had ruled for so long began to feel something they hadn't felt in centuries. A challenge. The unknown was here, and it was a force they could not understand. The object finally entered their territory. As it drew closer, the aliens could now see it clearly. It wasn't just a single ship. It was the ship, a battleship so massive, it seemed to dwarf everything around it. Its dark, imposing frame appeared to soak up the very light around it, casting a shadow over the alien planet. It was sleek and terrifying, like a predator moving through the cosmos. This wasn't a ship built for exploration. This was a ship built for war. And just as the humans had designed it to do, the ship sent out a powerful signal, a message. The aliens could feel the weight of the message, as if it was more than just words. It was a challenge, a declaration, and a promise. The humans were here, and they were not afraid. They had come to prove their strength. Commander Zalen's heart pounded in his chest. His hands shook slightly as he looked up at the massive battleship. "Prepare for a confrontation," he ordered again, but this time his voice faltered. His mind raced, trying to come up with a plan. How could they fight a ship like this? How could they fight a race that had managed to build something so powerful? The battle had not yet begun, but already the aliens had made one crucial discovery. Humanity was not the weak, primitive race they had once believed. They had been hiding something massive, something powerful. And now the aliens were about to find out just how much strength humanity had. The ship, the signal, the threat, it was all real. Humanity was here, and nothing in the galaxy would ever be the same again. The battleship's arrival. The aliens had underestimated humanity, and now they were about to pay the price. As the massive battleship moved closer, its true size became even more apparent. The ship was like nothing the aliens had ever seen, far beyond their most advanced warships in scale and power. The alien leaders sat in tense silence, their eyes glued to the massive holographic screens in front of them. They had never felt so vulnerable before. The ship's shadow fell over their home planet, a silent reminder of what was coming. "Are we ready?" Commander Zalen asked, though he already knew the answer. His people were not prepared for this. The human ship was too advanced, too fast, and there was no data on how to stop it. The alien fleet scrambled to organize itself, but it was clear they were outmatched. The human battleship didn't waste time. Without warning, it fired. A single shot, fired from the battleship's front cannon, obliterated an entire alien warship in a flash of light. The alien fleet watched in stunned silence as their most powerful vessel was vaporized in an instant. The energy released from the blast was so intense, it shook the very foundations of space itself. The alien fleet's commanders scrambled to issue orders, but it was already too late. The humans had made their first move, and they weren't holding back. "Commander, they've engaged us. What do we do now?" One of Zalen's officers cried, panic creeping into his voice, but Zalen was too stunned to respond. The human ship was already locking onto another target. The humans' next move was swift and precise. The alien ships tried to retaliate, launching their own missiles and energy blasts, but they were too slow. The human battleship moved like lightning, dodging incoming attacks and countering with pinpoint accuracy. One by one, the alien ships fell. They were helpless against the might of humanity's war machine. As the battle raged on, Zalen watched helplessly as his fleet was torn apart. Each shot from the human ship felt like a punch to his chest. The humans' weapons weren't just powerful, they were almost surgical in their precision. They knew exactly where to strike, and every strike counted. It was clear now that humanity's power was not just in their numbers, but in their technology, their skill, and their will to win. "Is there no way to stop them?" Zalen muttered to himself, a sense of hopelessness creeping into his voice. He had spent his life conquering other species, but now, for the first time, he was facing a force that didn't fear him. A force that wasn't just fighting to survive, but fighting to conquer. Fighting to prove something. The human battleship fired again. And this time, it didn't just destroy a ship, it destroyed an entire fleet formation. The alien ships scattered in every direction, trying to escape, but it was no use. The humans were everywhere. They were relentless. Zalen's heart sank as he watched his entire fleet disintegrate. The humans weren't just winning. They were making a statement. This was no longer a battle. This was a war, and humanity had already shown they were ready for it. In a final desperate attempt to save face, the alien empire deployed its most advanced warships. These ships were supposed to be the ultimate defense, the last line of protection. They were the best their empire had to offer, each one capable of turning the tide of any battle. But as these ships launched their assault, the humans responded with even more power. The human battleship unleashed a devastating barrage, and with a single sweep, wiped out the alien fleet's final hope. The advanced warships didn't even stand a chance. Explosions rocked the galaxy as the alien ships crumbled to nothing. Their once unstoppable might now reduced to space debris. The aliens had no more weapons to throw at humanity. Their best soldiers, their most advanced technology, and their greatest tactics had all failed. The human battleship, standing tall and unwavering, had proven to be the superior force. It was clear now, humanity had arrived. And nothing, not even the mightiest empire in the galaxy, could stop them. The shockwave of humanity's might. The defeat of the alien fleet had left the galaxy in shock, but for the alien empire, the true horror was only beginning. The immense power of humanity's battleship had proven that their long-held belief in their superiority was a lie. In the heart of the alien command center, Commander Zalen paced restlessly. His mind raced, trying to comprehend what had just happened. How could this be? How did they possess such strength? He muttered, his voice shaky. His advisors, equally shaken, had no answers. The alien scientists had studied every species in the galaxy, cataloging their strengths and weaknesses. But humanity was a mystery, a threat they hadn't even known existed. The human ship didn't just outgun them, it outclassed them in every way. The humans had turned the entire battlefield into a demonstration of their power, and the alien empire was powerless to stop it. Across the galaxy, whispers of the humans might begin to spread like wildfire. The alien empire had once believed it was untouchable, but now the galaxy saw a different picture. Humanity, a race that had once been relegated to the farthest reaches of the galaxy, was now a force to be reckoned with. And they had come for more than just a few territories. They had come to conquer. As the alien leaders gathered in their war room, a chilling silence hung in the air. Zalen stood before them, his hands clenched tightly at his sides. "We have no choice," he said, his voice low but filled with determination. "We must retaliate. We must show them that they cannot just waltz into our galaxy and take what they want." But there was a problem. The humans had already proven that their technology was far superior. The alien empire's weapons, once thought to be the strongest in the universe, were no match for humanity's warship. They had no way of knowing if their remaining fleets could even survive an encounter with the human forces. The alien empire's leaders reluctantly agreed on a plan. They would throw everything they had at humanity. It was a desperate measure, but it was the only chance they had left. The entire fleet would mobilize. Every available warship and weapon would be sent into battle. If they couldn't stop the humans with their full force, they would fall. The problem, however, was that the humans seemed to have anticipated this move. As soon as the alien fleet mobilized, the human battleship began a calculated retreat, luring the aliens into a trap. The humans knew that the aliens would come after them with everything they had, and they were prepared. In the heart of the alien fleet, the final fleet admiral, Morvek, gave the order to pursue. But as the ships ventured deeper into the void of space, they began to realize that they were being drawn into a carefully planned engagement. The humans weren't just retreating. They were drawing them into a perfect position for a final strike. The alien fleet's ships followed, oblivious to the trap they were walking into. The humans led them through the asteroid belt, an area dense with debris and dangerous space rocks. It was a risk, but humanity had designed a tactic that would turn this risk into an advantage. When the alien fleet reached the center of the asteroid field, the human battleship stopped in its tracks. And then, without warning, it opened fire, firing rapid, powerful blasts that caused the asteroids to explode, sending huge chunks of rock into the oncoming alien ships. The aliens were caught off guard, unable to avoid the debris that now filled the space around them. But the humans had more up their sleeve. The battleship activated its secret weapon, a massive EMP wave that disrupted the alien ship's electronic systems. One by one, the alien ships went dark, their weapons useless, their engines failing. The humans had rendered the most advanced technology in the galaxy powerless with one decisive move. Commander Zalen, watching the devastation unfold from his command ship, knew that it was over. The once proud alien empire, with its advanced fleets and unmatched weaponry, was now powerless against humanity. He felt a sinking sensation in his chest as he watched his empire's ships slowly drift, powerless, in space. His once feared fleet was now nothing more than a collection of disabled vessels floating aimlessly. The battle had not only been a defeat, it was a crushing humiliation. The humans, with their far superior tactics and technology, had dismantled the alien fleet in a matter of hours, and there was nothing Zalen or his empire could do to stop them. Humanity's might had become a terrifying reality. The aliens had no idea just how much they had underestimated this race, and now they were paying the price. The shockwaves of humanity's power were rippling throughout the galaxy, and the alien empire was left to pick up the pieces of its shattered pride. Alien resistance. The alien empire, battered and humiliated, could not simply surrender. Their leaders had known for centuries that their reign over the galaxy was built on fear and control, and the idea of losing that control to a race as young and seemingly insignificant as humanity was unthinkable. Commander Zalen, still reeling from the devastating loss of his fleet, called a council of war. His advisors gathered around, their faces grim and their bodies tense from the pressure of their failing situation. "We cannot allow this," Zalen growled. "We must fight back. We must show humanity that we will not bend to their will." Despite the heavy losses they had suffered, the alien leaders were not ready to give up. Their pride, their legacy, and their very survival depended on stopping humanity. But what could they do? Humanity's battleship was too powerful, and their technology was beyond anything the aliens had seen. Desperation led them to one final, drastic decision. The aliens would use their greatest weapon, an ancient artifact known as the Stellar Core. It was a weapon so powerful that it could destroy entire star systems, turning them into nothing but stardust. It was the last remaining trump card in their arsenal, the one weapon that could potentially stop humanity's seemingly unstoppable war machine. The Stellar Core had been hidden away for centuries, reserved only for the most extreme of emergencies. Now the aliens saw no other option. They would risk everything to stop the humans, even if it meant destroying entire planets in the process. "Prepare the Stellar Core," Zalen ordered with a cold edge to his voice. "This is our only chance." Meanwhile, humanity's battleship, led by Captain Elias, had no idea the alien empire was planning such a drastic move. They were too busy strategizing their next move, fully confident that their overwhelming superiority would eventually force the aliens to retreat. Humanity's fleet was growing, and with each victory, they were beginning to realize the full extent of their power. The galaxy was theirs for the taking. But as the alien fleet regrouped, the humans could sense something was off. The aliens weren't retreating or surrendering. Instead, they were preparing for something much bigger. Captain Elias ordered his fleet to stay vigilant. "Whatever they're planning, we'll be ready," he said, trying to calm the crew, though a sense of unease lingered in his words. The Stellar Core, a weapon the humans had never heard of, was now fully charged. It was an ancient relic, its power so vast that even the alien empire had feared using it. But desperate times called for desperate measures. With the core ready, Zalen gave the order to launch. The Stellar Core unleashed a pulse of unimaginable energy, radiating outward in a wave that could be seen across the galaxy. The blast was so powerful that it caused a ripple through space itself, distorting the fabric of the galaxy. Planets trembled, stars flickered, and entire fleets were wiped out in the blink of an eye. The human battleship, already on alert, detected the energy wave as soon as it erupted. Captain Elias immediately ordered evasive maneuvers, but the force of the blast was so immense that it sent shockwaves through their systems. The human fleet was thrown into chaos, struggling to keep their ships intact. Some were knocked out of hyperspace, while others found their weapon systems offline. "This is it," Captain Elias said, staring at the massive wave of energy that was heading straight for them. They've just unleashed the most powerful weapon in the galaxy. We need to fight through this. With the stellar core's blast devastating everything in its path, humanity's fleet was pushed to the brink. The alien resistance was relentless. They had given up their greatest weapon for one final stand, and now they were going to make sure humanity paid the price. However, what the alien empire didn't realize was that the human spirit was stronger than they could ever comprehend. While the blast had caused massive damage, it hadn't destroyed humanity's resolve. The human fleet rallied, using their ingenuity and unyielding determination to regroup and fight back. The aliens, thinking they had dealt a decisive blow, were unaware that their plan was slowly unraveling. The human fleet wasn't broken. It was angry. Their resolve had only strengthened. Commander Zalen watched from his command center, unaware of the spark he had just ignited. They can't withstand this much longer, he muttered to himself, though doubt had begun to creep into his thoughts. They will fall, just as the others did before them. But Captain Elias and his crew had other plans. Humanity's battleship, though damaged, was still operational. The humans had learned from every encounter, adapting and evolving their tactics faster than the aliens could anticipate. The next move would be theirs, and it would be decisive. "We've faced worse," Captain Elias said with a steely resolve, "and we will win. We're not leaving until we finish this fight." The tide was beginning to turn. The aliens, though still fighting fiercely, were starting to realize they had underestimated humanity once again. This time, humanity wasn't just fighting to survive. They were fighting for their future, and nothing was going to stand in their way. The turning point. The human fleet, battered but unbroken, was ready to make its final push. The damage from the stellar core's blast had been significant, but it hadn't been enough to defeat humanity's resolve. Captain Elias stood on the bridge of the flagship, staring at the star-streaked void of space ahead. The alien fleet, though still powerful, had been severely weakened by the unexpected onslaught. This was humanity's moment to strike. "We can't let them regroup," Captain Elias said, his voice firm and unwavering. "They've thrown everything at us, and we've survived. Now it's our turn." The human battleships, though scared, were back in formation, and their weapons were once again fully operational. Elias knew they had one chance to finish what they had started. The alien fleet was not just a military target. It represented everything humanity had fought against: oppression, fear, and the false belief that one race could dominate the galaxy. Commander Zalen, on the other hand, stood in his command center, watching the humans prepare for their next move. His once proud fleet had been decimated by humanity's superior tactics and their indomitable spirit. Now he was facing his final decision. His forces were scattered, and the stellar core's initial success had only delayed the inevitable. It was clear that humanity would not relent. "We've lost too many ships," Zalen muttered under his breath, the weight of his situation sinking in. "This war was never supposed to go like this. We cannot allow them to take our empire. The galaxy will crumble if we do." But Zalen's pride and desperation clouded his judgment. He refused to acknowledge the truth, that humanity was no longer a species to be feared. The humans were evolving faster than anyone had anticipated. Every attack, every setback, only fueled their determination to rise above the odds. And now, it was the alien empire that was on the brink of collapse. As the human fleet began its counterattack, the alien leaders could feel the pressure mounting. Their remaining ships, though formidable, could no longer fight with the same confidence they once had. The humans were too resourceful, too prepared. Their battleships tore through the alien forces, and for the first time, Zalen could see it in the eyes of his commanders. Fear. The human fleet pushed forward, one ship after another firing its weapons with deadly accuracy. The alien fleet's defensive systems, already battered, couldn't keep up. Every shot from the human ships found its mark. The aliens attempted to retaliate, but their attacks were scattered and ineffective. The humans had learned from their mistakes, and now they were executing their plan with surgical precision. Zalen's hand trembled as he issued orders, but it was clear that his empire had no more tricks left to play. The human fleet's relentless assault shattered the alien defenses. Zalen's voice cracked as he gave the command to retreat. It was too late. His forces were in disarray, and he knew the battle was lost. Fall back to the core," Zalen shouted, but his voice held no conviction. He knew there was nowhere to retreat to. The humans were relentless in their pursuit. As the alien fleet scattered, a chilling realization hit the alien commanders. They could not win this war. The humans had already proven that they were capable of more than anyone had ever imagined. The alien empire, once the dominant force in the galaxy, was now fighting for its survival against a race that had been underestimated at every turn. But the humans weren't done yet. They had waited for this moment, and now it was time to finish what they had started. Captain Elias' voice rang out over the communication system. "This ends now. We're not going to let them run. We'll fight until the last ship is down." The human fleet closed in on the alien remnants, forcing them into a final desperate stand. The alien ships, though fewer in number, had one final chance to prove their strength. But it was clear to everyone that this was no longer a battle for survival. It was a battle for supremacy, and humanity had already shown that they were the true rulers of this galaxy. With the alien fleet in retreat, the humans gave chase, their ships moving faster, more coordinated than ever before. There was no more fear of the unknown. The humans had proven their power, their resolve, and their unwavering spirit. The tide had turned, and the alien empire could only watch as their ships were destroyed one by one. Commander Zalen, once so sure of his empire's invincibility, now stood on the verge of utter defeat. His empire was crumbling, and there was nothing he could do to stop it. The humans had already won the war. With every alien ship that fell, the final blow to the empire's pride was struck. The alien resistance was broken, and humanity emerged victorious. The galaxy would never be the same. Humanity's strength, its will to fight, and its ability to turn the tide in the most impossible of circumstances had rewritten the future. And the galaxy would now remember the name of the species that had brought the alien empire to its knees: humanity. The triumph of humanity. The battle was over, and the galaxy was forever changed. The once mighty alien empire, which had terrorized countless species for millennia, lay in ruins. Their ships were scattered across the void, their fleets decimated, and their leaders, including Commander Zalen, had no more power to command. Humanity had won. Captain Elias stood on the bridge of the human flagship, watching as the remains of the alien fleet drifted into nothingness. The final moments of the battle had been brutal, but the outcome was undeniable. Humanity's resolve, strength, and unyielding spirit had crushed the alien forces. The human fleet had not only survived, they had conquered. "We did it," Elias whispered, a mix of relief and pride filling his heart. The crew around him exchanged looks, each of them feeling the weight of the victory. This wasn't just a military triumph. This was a declaration to the galaxy that humanity would no longer be underestimated. The galaxy had witnessed humanity's strength, and it would never forget. As the remnants of the alien fleet drifted aimlessly in space, the human ships began their final sweep. They secured the wreckage, ensuring that nothing would fall into the hands of any remaining alien forces. It was over, but the real work was just beginning. Humanity had not only won the war, they had earned a place among the stars. But more than that, they had proven to every species in the galaxy that they were a force to be reckoned with. No longer were they the weak, fragile species from Earth. They had shown that when pushed to the brink, they could rise up, fight back, and emerge victorious. News of humanity's triumph spread quickly throughout the galaxy. Other species who had once lived in fear of the alien empire now turned their attention to Earth and its expanding influence. The galaxy was waking up to a new reality, a reality where humanity stood at the forefront. The leaders of Earth gathered to discuss the next steps. There was much to be done, and while the war had been won, the galaxy was vast, and many unknowns still existed. But one thing was certain: humanity's journey had only just begun. They would no longer be the underdogs. They would no longer be the victims of oppression. Instead, they would become the architects of a new, unified galaxy, where their strength and determination would set the standard. Today, we stand as the victors, Captain Elias spoke during a message to the galaxy. We have proven that we are not just survivors. We are warriors. And the galaxy will now know what it means to face the might of humanity. The alien empire, though defeated, still held a certain respect for humanity's strength. The galaxy's other factions and species, once hesitant and distrustful of humans, now saw them as a new power to reckon with. Humanity's reputation for resilience and tenacity had spread far and wide, and the once feared alien empire knew that any future conflict would be met with fierce resistance from the humans. As the human battleship cruised through the stars, Elias looked out into the vastness of space, thinking of the future. The war was over, but the true test was yet to come. The galaxy was full of opportunities, and humanity would need to continue to prove itself. "We've shown them what we're made of," Elias said, turning to his crew. "But now we show them what we can build. A galaxy united. A galaxy where humanity's strength will lead the way." Humanity's place in the galaxy had been earned through blood, sweat, and unwavering courage. They had stared down the most powerful empire in the galaxy, and in the end, they had triumphed. As the stars passed by, Captain Elias couldn't help but feel a sense of pride for what they had accomplished. This victory was not just for Earth, it was for every world that had suffered under the tyranny of the alien empire. Humanity had shown that no matter how dark the days might get, they could rise, fight, and emerge victorious. The universe now knew that humanity was a force to be reckoned with. The battles might be over for now, but the legacy of their triumph would echo throughout the stars, a reminder to all that when humanity stands together, there is no challenge too great, no force too strong, and no enemy too powerful to defeat.